From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Evening Edition.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Andrea Nakano.
And I'm Brian Hackney. A San Jose post office destroyed after a car crashed into the building and ignited a fire.
Police say the man behind it is Richard Tillman, the younger brother of American hero, the late Pat Tillman. Da Lin is live at the scene with more on what happened there. Da?
Yeah, Andrea, Brian, this is still very much an active investigation. 14 hours into it, police say around 3 o'clock this morning, Richard Tillman, that is, reversed a car into the lobby of this post office behind me here in South San Jose. They say that they are still investigating this, and it appears that they just boarded up the lobby here, leaving that car inside, perhaps not wanting to disturb the evidence there. Neighbors who live across from the post office say a loud explosion woke them up early Sunday morning.
It's absolutely insane that even happened.
I went to the window, seen the fire engulfing, and then we ran out and kind of seen what was going on.
The couple, Heather and Shane Roberts, say they saw a man with long hair and a beard not far from the fire.
I was watching his actions and just seeing what he was doing, and he was pacing back and forth and
drinking a beer.
Yeah, it looked like
drinking a beer?
It looked like he had a beer in his hand, and yeah, he was on his phone. So
we heard him talking about something about a federal offense and going to jail and something about Trump.
The fire department and police arrived quickly, and San Jose police arrested 44-year-old Richard Tillman. About 50 firefighters put out the flames, but investigators say the post office is a total loss.
It certainly seems like a possibility that this fire was intentionally set. Why anybody would do that, like I said, is beyond explanation.
The U.S. Postal Inspector says they don't yet know the motive. It appears the driver reversed a car into the lobby. Investigators believe shortly after, the person set the building on fire. The suspect also tagged the front of the building with "Viva la," which means long live in Spanish.
As far as what the message means, that's a very unanswered question. Certainly, I think we're all looking at, like, well, the way you might finish this sentence is "Viva la Mexico," but that doesn't make sense either. So, we're looking for an explanation.
According to IMDb.com, an online database of information about films and television programs, Tillman worked as an actor between 2003 and 2010 and appeared in several films. Richard is the younger brother of the late Pat Tillman. Pat left his NFL career to enlist in the U.S. Army after the 9/11 attacks. He was later killed by friendly fire. Like most people in the South Bay, the Roberts say they have a lot of respect for the Tillman family and now wonder about Richard Tillman's mental health.
We didn't know what kind of mind state he was in and if he would try and harm us.
Yeah, mental health and why, those are the big questions right now. Why did someone do something like this? We will wait to find out more. Now, Richard Tillman is now held up, or right now is locked up at the Maine County Jail with no bail. We understand he is scheduled, at least for now, scheduled to appear in court on Wednesday at 12 p.m. I did reach out to Mary Tillman, Pat and Richard's mom. I did not get a response so far. The family actually lived about 4 miles away from this location. Went to the family home, found out Mary Tillman actually sold the house about 2 months ago and moved to Arizona. So we're still waiting to find out a lot more about this. Again, very unusual that they just boarded up the main lobby, and it appears the car that you guys see in the video earlier, that car appears to be still behind it, and looks like they're waiting for more investigators to come back perhaps on Monday to try to piece together what all happened there. For now, live in San Jose, I'll send it back to you guys.
A bizarre incident, Daw. Thank you so much. While the Almaden Station post office is temporarily closed, USPS says mail pickup for P.O. Box customers and notice left mail for customers will be available at the Willow Glen Post Office on Meridian Avenue. Customers are asked to provide a photo ID for all mail pickup. Retail services are also available at several nearby locations. Now to a developing story out of the North Bay. A 17-year-old driver is in custody after a deadly police chase in Petaluma. Police believe the teen was driving under the influence when he crashed late last night. A 14-year-old passenger inside of the car was killed and 2 other passengers were hurt. The car rolled over on Lakeville Highway after swerving into oncoming traffic and sideswiping another car. All 4 teens were ejected from the car. The driver is facing DUI and vehicular manslaughter charges.
Well, the Bay Area is known for its activism, and this weekend is no different. Here's a look at what is happening around the Bay today. Nearly 60,000 Palestinians have been killed by Israel in 20 months. And to protest that, more than 500 bikers rode 14 miles to Richmond and back in support of the Middle East Children's Alliance Ride for Palestine fundraising event. Their goal was to raise $300,000 as emergency aid for families in Gaza. And in San Francisco, protesters at Union Square opposing the Iranian government under the rule of Ali Khamenei and its recent attacks on dissidents. At the same time, the 39th annual 5K AIDS Walk in Golden Gate Park this morning, speechmakers were alongside the walk, one of the biggest fundraising events in Northern California. It's raised over $96 million for HIV/AIDS organizations in the Bay Area. And a live look at the White House this evening, where Trump administration officials continue to forge ahead with sweeping deportation efforts. According to a new poll, Americans are increasingly opposed to the government's deportation tactics. A new CNN poll found that 55% of those surveyed said that the president has gone too far when it comes to deporting immigrants living in the U.S. illegally.
The issue is revealing a major political split. 90% of Democratic voters say that Trump's deportation policy has gone too far. Only 15% of Republicans agree.
Here in California, the president's crackdown on illegal immigration is also leading to labor shortages in some industries like healthcare, agriculture, and construction. About 41% of the construction workers in California are foreign-born. And according to a new report, the rise in deportations will deplete the construction workforce statewide, including those specializing in drywall, flooring, and roofing.
Agriculture is also being impacted. During the height of harvest season, the feds launched massive immigration raids in Camarillo. More than 300 people were detained earlier this month, after which there were week-long protests.
You got to imagine also some of these people are working in the agricultural industry, which is really being heavily targeted. So, they tend to, favor and love some of these farm animals. So whether it's chickens or maybe some goats.
Pets are also being impacted. The LA Times reports that pet surrenders have increased in Los Angeles, more than doubling in some areas. Darren?
Well, didn't the marine layer put on a show today? Never really cleared for the city. Look at that time lapse. Gray skies here all day. Most of us did get sun, but not in the city, not near the water. This is just the start. The weather pattern is going to double down on all of this. We're going to get cooler and breezier and cloudier than this over the next few days. I'll show you how low we're going to go and what's behind all this. Coming up next.
Now for a live look across the Bay Area, and you can see the sun has yet to break the marine layer in some parts of the Bay Area, and we are here with meteorologist Darren Peck with the latest on the forecast.
This is never going to change, is it?
It's never going to change.
You would think we've gotten just locked into this. I can say this for the next few days, no, it's not changing at all.
It was interesting, though. Can I share a little story?
Please.
So I was in Ripon again today.
A small community in the Central Valley. Much farming,
yes.
and Little League happens there.
Yes, apparently it does. And so I was coming over the Altamont Pass.
Yeah.
It was sunny, it was great, and then you start driving right into like San Leandro and Oakland area, and it just got so great.
Yes, it did.
It just won't go away.
And for some of us, it hasn't all day. So let's start there. And then I want to show you why we should get used to this. This is not going to change. That time lapse is from the top of Nob Hill. It's the Mark Hopkins Hotel. Never got sun there. Come over to the virtual map. This is the last 3 hours. So what Andrea was talking about, as the clouds started to clear, she got into her brakes, but didn't really get into the clouds until she had worked her way all the way in towards like San Leandro, she was saying. But she also mentioned that she drove over Altamont Pass. Altamont Pass sits out there. I don't know if we can kind of get that in view on camera. Go ahead out there for a second. Altamont Pass is going to have like 40-mile-an-hour gusts going over it. It was one thing for Andrea to see the sun when she came over this morning, and then she hit the clouds by the East Bay. But Altamont Pass, and we can go to the wide view again now, is going to stand out over the next 2 or 3 days because the same pattern that is persistently driving this fog in, keeping the cool temperatures around, is a strong onshore influence that is going to start whipping through the passes. So if anybody does drive over Altamont Pass, that's 580. When you leave Tri-Valley and you start heading towards Tracy, maybe you're going to Ripon for Little League, or maybe you got something else in the Central Valley. Plan on it being windy there, strong enough that they might put wind advisories on it. And that is part of this overall pattern that's keeping us so gray and cold. Look where we were at 9 o'clock this morning. That's how widespread the marine layer was. Now watch it take its sweet time to melt back to this point at 4 in the afternoon. That's the last image there, never really quite clearing. Look at the impact this had on daytime highs. We'll start out by looking at today's numbers with just some of the major representative spots, and then I'm going to put everybody on here for tomorrow. But go ahead and pick out some of the main notables here. Low 80s inland. 79 in Santa Rosa. Now we're going to switch this. I'm going to change the color contour. Let's get a wide view on the map, and you're going to see the colors cool a bit. Noticeable change there into tomorrow, but when we put the numbers on, now we can get everybody in. Here's your part of the bay. This is your Monday. The marine layer is going to do the same thing, by the way. Everybody wakes up to gray skies, and then it'll melt back, never really quite clearing the city all day. And you're only going to 76 degrees in Concord. It's only going to be 73 in Santa Rosa. Top out at 72 in Napa. Let's bring that back down again to the South Bay if we can, so we can pick out those numbers. Look at Livermore. 74, we'll go to 72 in San Jose. So relatively cool. What's going on here? Why are we locked in this pattern, and why does it have to continue for the next couple of days? Let me show you why this would be the case. And what I need for that is to bring up my trusty monitor. And we'll say goodbye to the marine layer. You take a look at the satellite, you don't see anything. But when we switch this up now and you take a look at what's going on in the Pacific on the bigger picture, so here we are, there's California. It's kind of weird looking because it's the water vapor imagery. But I want you to see that. That little counterclockwise spin, that's an area of low pressure that is coming out of the Gulf of Alaska. Summer. We're not supposed to continually see these things coming out of the Gulf of Alaska like that. But the pattern in the atmosphere has been locked. The big blocking ridge of high pressure has just been parked out there all summer. So these things keep coming our way. Watch where it's going. We put the source of energy on it. We're going to play it through like the next 5 days. It's going to slink down over us into Tuesday and Wednesday. That's why it gets windy and grayer. And then Wednesday and Thursday, it just parks itself and sits out off the coast for a few days and doesn't leave. That's why the 7-day forecast is going to look like it does. We've also kept the sea surface temperatures quite cold out here. Look at the water out here. Get into these deep shades of blue. As this pattern has been locked in, with the winds continually whipping down the coast, you see the deep area of blue off the coast here? These are water temperatures in the upper 40s, which may not mean much to you if you don't spend much time thinking about what the water temperature is off the coast of California. It should be in the upper 50s. It's in the upper 40s in places at its coldest. You go into the Gulf right now, Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America, whichever one your choice is, those water temperatures are in the 80s for perspective. So it's so cold out here, colder than usual, that is certainly dropping our temperatures, and it has been doing it pretty much all summer. And it doesn't show any sign of letting up. Let me show you the 7-day forecast. Keep in mind, this 7-day is for the inland microclimate. Look at the numbers. Staying in the 70s. Maybe an 80-degree day there by the time we get to Sunday next week. And when we switch this up, and let's take a look at the 7-day forecast for the Bay, you'll see the numbers on here are going to be cooler, obviously, low to mid-60s. And every one of those has clouds in it. Certainly a pretty intense marine layer here through Wednesday. And then it might start to relent a bit as we get towards the end of this weekend, next weekend. All right, Vern, over to you.
All right, Mr. Beck, here we go. Straight ahead in sports, a dominant performance across the pond. And the Giants, they just can't get through customs fast enough after a rough weekend in Canada. Jim Harbaugh, one of my favorites. He always says, who's got it better than us? Nobody. Well, Coach, Steph Curry is on line one. Curry spent last weekend in Lake Tahoe contending for a golf title. This week, he hosted the Davidson basketball team for a mini camp. Even hopped in for a few drills with the Wildcats. And then on Friday, he practically shut down a South Bay Costco. Ann Makovic has the story.
Outside the Costco in San Jose, long lines that stretch down the block, all waiting for this picture-perfect moment, a meeting with one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
So excited.
I got a Bedazzle shirt. She won't leave the couch during a game, even to go to the bathroom or get food.
The Warriors' Steph Curry was out promoting his new sports drink, Plezzy. Ken Fong got word of his visit from Costco workers yesterday and decided to come back.
I got here around 7:15 a.m. in the morning, so the line was out probably 150, 200 people ahead of me.
And in the end, his patience paid off.
It was an honor to be able to get that picture. He's one of the greatest role model.
Kevin Tran missed the line, but he still showed up, hoping to get a glimpse of his favorite player.
I love that man. I will do anything for his 5th ring. I named our firstborn daughter after Steph Curry.
No birth certificate was provided. Even a Lakers fan showed up.
I used to be, but my son converted me. So he's 29, he's in Palm Springs. So this morning he texted me, and he's a diehard Curry fan. So he said, you better be there, your favorite Costco.
Hoping to meet Steph, who he finds inspiring.
Such a humble guy. He's such an amazing guy on and off the court, and we love him.
Wow, did you hear that in the package? My big takeaway from that was, I guess years from now, there's going to be a whole lot of kids running around named Steph.
I
some
bet.
named Curry.
Steph and Steph,
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The draw he has.
All righty, Vern, thank you.
Well, you've heard of drive-in movies. Now a San Francisco hotel is offering dive-in movies. We'll explain next. This summer, there's a new family activity happening in San Francisco. Our Laureen Ayu visits Hotel Nico for a splash of family fun.
A summer splash without the sun? At Hotel Nico in San Francisco, the indoor pool, paired with a new summer movie nights program, is bringing families together regardless of the weather outside. General Manager Casey Newberger says that's the experience he and his team hope to provide for both locals and visitors.
As we're in the summer travel months, I wanted to really explore with my team ways that we could have guests come down and experience a relaxing time watching a movie and enjoying their family and friends in the pool area after touring around the city of San Francisco.
The series, entitled Dive-In Movies, features family-friendly flicks throughout the summer. With both a pool and a jacuzzi, the atrium is nestled in the center of downtown.
We are able to create that lively, sunny atmosphere within our atrium pool, which is one of the largest here in the city. So it stays this nice warm temperature both in the water and when individuals get out of the pool, and then curl up with our cozy towels onto our chaise lounges to watch the movie.
And the cozy towels are just the beginning. Guests can enjoy complimentary movie night treats, from popcorn to beverages. You don't have to be a hotel guest to join the fun. Day passes are also available for purchase. San Francisco local Jay LaViolette picks them up for his family.
It's great to just be able to enjoy a movie and swim and have a little physical activity and have some time together, enjoy a nice meal all in one place. It's great.
Guests can order dishes from the hotel's sushi restaurant or enjoy the free snacks curated by Casey and his team. The ultimate goal is to bring the 15-meter indoor pool to life this summer, sunny or not.
Kids that are running around and jumping in the pool, it really feels like summer, and that's one of my favorite parts. And bringing joy to individuals that come to San Francisco and this hotel from across the globe.
Because no matter the weather, summer will be splashing at the Hotel Nico.
Well, what will they think of next? How about National Ice Cream Day? We've got the scoop. Fenton's Creamery is celebrating its 131st anniversary. The festivities include $1.31 sundaes, free scoops, live and music raffles. Fenton's owners told us what he's celebrating.
Within all of the kind of like celebration this is a tribute to the generations and generations that have found Fenton's and continue to have Fenton's be part of their life.
You can celebrate the Bay Area's oldest ice cream parlor at both the Oakland and Vacaville locations. All right, today's July 20th. What historic, incredible thing happened on this day?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea.
July 20th.
July 20th.
July 20th, 1969.
Oh God, I have no idea. Okay, hold on. He's gonna bring something. Ah.
Does this ring a bell?
Oh yeah, because I read a story about that the other day.
Yeah, look at that. Wow.
Yeah.
And now, honestly, it's not, most people don't remember. And we still have not made it back to the moon since we left since 1973, I think, Apollo 17. Yeah. At least we're trying with Apollo. That's it at 5. Back here at 6 for an hour of news. CBS Weekend News is next.